Hi, friends. Look what cool book I brought for you today. This book is an informational book. That means it's nonfiction. So it's not a story in a sense that I'm going to tell you a story. It's going to tell you some really cool facts about weather. What does this look like on the front page? This is the front cover, right? What does this look like? Lightning. And then look what's on the back cover. It says weather again. And then it says, what makes the wind blow? How can rain sometimes be red? Why are tornadoes like vacuum cleaners? So this book talks about all kinds of weather. And since we're talking about clouds this week, I wanted to show you some things. So remember, the difference between a nonfiction book and the fiction book is that a nonfiction book has a table of contents, which tells you how to get to these topics in the story. So we have rain or shine, what is weather, clouding over, we have electric skies, balls of ice. So let's see what we can see. This first page says rain or shine. The weather can be sunny, rainy, windy, or snowy. Every kind of weather is happening somewhere in the world right now. This is a snowstorm in New York. Do you guys know what snowstorms look like, right? Because we live in Michigan. Now, what is weather? The sun gives out heat, which warms the earth. Water makes clouds and rain, and it also makes fog, hail, and snow. Air is always moving around, and this is what makes the wind blow. Do you guys see earth? The wind is blowing the clouds. There's water on the move. So it says that the water from the ocean goes up into the sky, into the clouds, and then it rains back down on the earth. Look at it clouding over. When we talk about clouds, there's different types of clouds, isn't there? There's cloudy skies like this. Sometimes in the winter we see a lot like this. And this is called stratus clouds. Now, in the puffy white cumulus clouds, these are the ones that are super puffy in the summertime. And sometimes when we have really sunny days. And then we have cirrus clouds, which are wispy, like that. And then big cumulonimbus. Can you guys say that? Cumulonimbus cloud. That means there may be a thunderstorm if you see a cloud that looks like this. Do you know what a thunderstorm is? When it makes those big booms and it rains. Look at the ice crystals. We've been talking about this a lot this week. When the air is very cold, the water in the clouds freezes to make tiny ice crystals called snowflakes. And then this is what snowflakes look like when they are put under a microscope. And then it says no two snowflakes are ever exactly the same shape. I'm gonna come a little closer. Do you guys ever see icicles? These form on the roofs of your house, sometimes on the bottom of your car. Ooh, look at the electric skies. Strong winds inside the clouds swirl the rain, snow, and hailstones up and down. And this makes electricity build up. It escapes to the ground and flashes of lightning. The lightning sometimes hits the trees and buildings on its way from the cloud to the ground. And this type of lightning is called forked lightning. Great balls of ice. This is what hail looks like. Hail forms inside giant thunderclouds. So when you get hailstorms at the same time as thunder and lightning. This is wild wind. You ever been out in the super windy where it blows the trees like this? When a hurricane reaches land, huge waves and strong winds batter the coast. That means there's lots of big wind. There's also things called twisters, like a tornado. It's like a giant vacuum cleaner, and it sucks things up from the ground. There's weather scientists, and these people measure the weather and then tell us what they think the weather will do. We see a lot of people like that on the news, they tell us how warm it's going to be, how sunny it's going to be, or if it's going to be raining that day. Oh, here, this was a fun fact. Let's look at the cows. It says, some people think that cows lie down when it's about to rain. Did you know that? We'll have to keep an eye out if you ever buy some cows when it's about to rain. Animal magic. Weather doesn't just affect people. It affects the way animals behave too. For example, the fur of a snowshoe hare, which is a bunny, changes from brown to white in the winter. Did you know that? Ooh, what do you think this place is? Do you think it's hot or do you think it's very cold? I think this place looks pretty warm, right? What about this place? Ooh, I see some ice. What did that mean? Is it cold? Yeah. In weird weather, some parts of the world weather make odd things happen. Some people think that strange clouds like this one look like spaceships. And it's called a lenticular cloud. That's a weird word. Can you say lenticular? They usually form near mountains. And look at it. It says, red raindrops sometimes fall from the sky. This animal adds to the gases released to the air. Are you heating up? Hundreds of years from now, all this ice might have melted. Do you see all this ice right here, where the penguins are? And then at the end of our nonfiction book, there's always a glossary that tells us what these words mean. So it says ice crystal, a frozen drop of water. Snowflakes are ice crystals. And you see this picture of lightning? It says lightning, a flash of light from a thundercloud. So there's lots of information we can learn from nonfiction books. That's why they're really cool to read. So if you guys watched this story with me today, can you send me a comment of something that you learned about the weather? You could tell me about the clouds. You could watch it back if you need to. You could tell me something cool you learned about cows. Do you remember what we learned about the cows do if it's going to rain? So go ahead and message me back if you can, and I'll make sure to see I can see your response, and I'll text you back, okay? All right, bye friends.